everyone, this is Natalia, and this is my junior channel if you haven't noticed, but that is not what we're talking about today. Today we will be talking about studying abroad, and this will be actually the first part in a multi-step series, including my actual leaving for Japan. Today we will be talking about 4 topics. So, what is study abroad? Facts and myths about study abroad. What kind of study abroad is there? And how to get started. So let's go. So before we actually get into it, I just wanted to let you guys know a little bit something about me. I have been wanting to study abroad since pretty much ever. Actually, part of my choice for coming to HPU was because of their study abroad program, which from what I can tell is fantastic compared to the other colleges that I applied for. And honestly, the study abroad office is just amazing. So I'm really excited to be studying abroad. I plan to go to Japan, actually. I have been studying Japanese for a couple years now, but this will be my 2nd semester in college, so I'm in my last semester of intermediate Japanese, and I hope to be studying Japanese when I go abroad and reach a certain level of fluency before I get back. This video is pretty much going to be about taking you guys through my process of studying, of how I applied for study abroad through HPU, but some of these things may also apply for your own home universities. So let's get started. So first of all, what is study abroad? Study abroad is pretty much a student searching for educational opportunities outside their own country. This can be primary, secondary, or post-secondary education. Next, we're going to be talking about myths of study abroad. There are so many myths surrounding study abroad, and I'm pretty sure there are a lot of videos on this, but if you're here on this video, you know, you get it here instead of having to click somewhere else. So, first myth is that studying abroad costs too much. Actually, that's not necessarily true. Studying abroad is all dependent on where your location is, your spending habits, which is actually a big factor for how much you're going to be spending abroad, and the type of program that you choose to study abroad with. And really, at the end of the day, these things can all be varied. I know that there are lots of, personally, I know there are different kinds of programs to go to Japan, and each one costs like a different amount of money. Some of them are work studies, and you know, you don't necessarily have any costs going in, and then there are other ones that are covered by your financial aid. So, and bottom line is, a lot of study abroad options can actually be cheaper than studying at your home university for that semester or year that you're going, so it's actually worth checking out. Myth number 2, can't study abroad if I don't know the language. That is a total myth, let me tell you. Okay, every program is different. Even here at HPU, there are programs for total beginners in a language, people who have no prior language experience. And there are programs for people who are in advanced levels. There's such a range for what your language capability is. And at the universities that you're going to, more often than not, they offer a variety of language levels that they can teach you. So for example, the university that I'm applying to has a range from very beginner Japanese to people who have just started out, and then there's all the way to advanced level speakers who can even be taking college level classes in Japanese. They go all across the board. Of course, through HPU, Japanese, if you want to study abroad in Japan through an exchange program, you have to have 1 year of Japanese prior to going. Doesn't matter what level you're at, you have to have 1 year prior. So yeah, I mean, it just really depends on the program that you're going through, and you shouldn't be intimidated about going to a new country when you don't know the language, because there are lots of resources that universities will provide for you to help you with stuff like setting up bank accounts, you know, getting stuff fixed, or residency card. So, I mean, pretty much they have services for pretty much anything, and while you make friends there, you know what, your friends can help you out too. I have a few friends in Japan, and they've offered that if I ever have any trouble while I'm in Japan, just call them up, and if I have any questions about anything, or if I need help with something such as getting a cell phone or whatever it may be, they're willing to help. Myth number 3, studying abroad is only for international studies majors like international studies, Asian studies, international business, etc. That is so not true. Okay, HPU has a wide variety of programs that they can offer people. for pretty much every major. And let's say you can't do the major, or you can't do it during your school year, because I know that certain programs like nursing students have such a packed schedule for everything that they have to get done. Well, you know what? That's what the summer and winter are for. They have so many programs for going abroad during the summer and the winter as well. And there are also courses that you can take where there's student-led programs where the teachers take you, actually, during the semester. They take you just for a couple weeks, or a week or two, or even 3. The teacher leading your class will take you to the country that you're studying about. I think those are generally the contemporary nations courses, but there are lots at HPU, and you just got to find them. They even have programs like Semester at Sea, where you can pretty much be doing what you would be doing here, but on the water, traveling the world. So really, it's the myth that it's only for international studies majors is total BS. Myth number 4, that study abroad is only for juniors. That is so not true. Although there are a lot of people who opt to go during their junior year, I'm not one of those people, for instance. HPU's policy is that you must have at least 1 semester completed at HPU before you go to study abroad, or you have to have an entire year completed if you're going to a country that requires a 1-year language prereq. You can also be a senior when you study abroad. HPU is very flexible with allowing students to even finish their senior year abroad and then just be back in time for their graduation. Not to mention, there are also lots of study abroad opportunities for graduate students as well. So it's just a matter of looking through the HPU website and finding what best fits you. Personally, I will be studying abroad my sophomore year, or my second year, however you prefer to call it, of my 4-year college experience. I will be going for 1 year. As of this semester, once the semester is over, I will have completed 2 semesters of Japanese through my college, so I am eligible to study abroad in Japan. Myth number 5, I can't use my scholarships or my financial aid when studying abroad. That is so not true. Okay, so for studying abroad through HPU, even other colleges have this. You can use this college actually has scholarships specific toward study abroad programs. I know HPU always has a range, I think, of how much they offer. It really depends, but they have a scholarship specifically for the study abroad program, as well as you can use your financial aid. If you are a student with VA benefits, you can also use your VA benefits to study abroad as long as it's through the approved program. Myth number 6, studying abroad will delay my graduation. That all really depends on you. To be completely honest, it is entirely possible to graduate on time with your study abroad. It's just a matter of having to work with your academic advisors and the study abroad office to find the perfect program for you that fits your major, and so that way you won't have to take too many, so that way as many of your courses apply when you're studying abroad and transfer over into your major or minor. Now, what you really should be interested in is really the facts of study abroad. The first fact is employers value your study abroad experience. That is quite true. Employers see that you have studied abroad, if this is something that goes on your resume, or if your potential future employer is looking at what you did through college. They will see that you are flexible, you work, you do well in foreign environments, and that you have a well-rounded education, which is always a bonus and really qualities that employers look for in the 21st century. Fact number 2, you can make friends and connections in other parts of the world. That is pretty obvious, I think, but it's also a really important thing to do, because someday you could up and decide to move to that country, and it's great to have friends already there. As well as, having a friend's place to crash at if you ever want to do some traveling. And also having friends from so many different places really helps broaden your view of everything in the world. Fact number 3. People with study abroad experience are statistically less likely to face unemployment than people who haven't. I'm actually not quite sure why this is, let me tell you, but it is true. They are statistically less likely. And it probably has to do with the fact that study abroad makes your resume and your experience from abroad, whether that was language learning or understanding a culture that might be necessary toward your job, more valuable than people who haven't. And the 4th study abroad fact is that you will grow as a person and understand yourself better. And I think that's pretty much, I mean, what a lot of people expect to gain out of their experience. And it's very true. So many of people that I know, like, they had no idea what they wanted to do with their life after college, and they somehow found it. Or like they found this completely new interest that they had no idea they had, even if they had already planned out their entire life and thought they knew what they wanted to do. And you get to have these like completely different experiences because, I mean, the culture is so different than your own country. Every country is so different, even by area of each country is so different that it's totally worth it, and you really start to understand yourself better. Okay, so now it is time to get a little bit more HPU specific, as in the types of study abroad programs that they offer at HPU. So the first type of exchange program that they offer at HPU is the exchange program. So the exchange program, which is the program that I'm applying through, it is a program where students go to a partner school through the university but are still paying tuition to HPU. This is perfect for people who want to use their study abroad scholarships, their financial aid, or their VA benefits. Another program is the affiliate program. So students will choose the program, whether it is APHIS, Teen, Global Ed, etc. There are so many programs, you can see them on the HPU Study Abroad page, but pretty much you will be paying your tuition, housing, and other fees directly to that organization, and you can still use your financial aid through this program. Another program, which I mentioned earlier, was Semester at Sea. So Semester at Sea is a program where you're pretty much taking the courses that you will be taking here, except that you will be on a cruise ship. I don't know how fancy this cruise ship is, but you will be taking courses on the ship while traveling the world and exploring different countries. Another program that I mentioned before is the summer and winter programs. The summer and winter programs are ones where you could just go away for a few weeks to an entire long summer vacation and earn credit toward college. Usually you would only be taking a couple courses instead of a full course load, or you will be taking compacted courses in that time period, but you can earn credit during that time. And this is really a great way, especially for those students who are nursing students, or you have a double major, in which case it makes it very difficult to maybe have electives, especially if your major isn't quite as flexible with the study abroad courses as some other majors. And the last program, which I mentioned, I think, when I was talking about the contemporary nations classes, is faculty-led programs. Faculty-led programs is where professors have projects and they pick a team of students that they want to go abroad with them to join them for a few weeks, or even an entire semester, really. I've seen those as well, where they give you lectures and they take you to all these places. And actually one of my friends at a different college is doing that right now. She is going to be going to Korea in like a little bit over a month, and she's doing this. It's through a faculty-led program to Korea, and it's really great. And sometimes these programs are actually really affordable and are a pretty great opportunity also to get a more understanding view of this country, because if you were to go by yourself, you might not necessarily be that knowledgeable about the culture. So it's really great to have a professor there to really guide you. So now I'm gonna pan over to a digital screen recording that I did of the HPU website, and we can get started so you can take a look at the website and see where you can find all this information. So first we're going to go to the HPU website, hpu.edu. So now on the website we're going to go over to Student Life and then down to the Study Abroad tab. So here you will see that there's a Getting Started area. And you can see all the other stuff, but right now we're going to go over to the programs. As you can see, there are plenty of programs here in pretty much all the major continents, and then so you can really see there are plenty of programs to choose from. These are the ones that they offer in Japan. Really, it's just about playing around with the website. As you can see, there's like programs in England, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Sweden, Spain. So heading back over to this Getting Started area, you can see the requirements as well as deadline applications. You have to have a minimum of a 3.0 GPA average with the intention to graduate from HPU and in good academic and judicial standing with the college. Also, for Spanish-speaking countries as well as Japan, you have to have at least one semester, although a year is more often required than a semester, to qualify for these programs. Some other programs also might have additional requirements. So next we're going to go and schedule an appointment. The form is pretty straightforward, as you can see. It just helps the the study abroad advisors get a feel for what you really want to do, if you have any idea, and what you would like to have questions on and recommendations. The study abroad people cannot read your mind, so let them know what you want. But don't be afraid, there are no dumb questions either. The study abroad office also has brochures that you can walk in anytime and see, and if you have a specific university in mind, they can sometimes put you in touch with previous students that have studied abroad at that university or that have come to our university from there. Okay, so you guys, this is all I have for you today. This was part 1 of the study abroad process. I hope you'll join me for part 2, and I hope this got you interested in maybe, if you're coming to HPU, taking an early look at where you might consider studying abroad and through what kind of program, so you can really get in contact with your advisors and get this stuff straightened out, because the earlier you start planning, the easier the transition will be and the more stuff that's probably flexible with your schedule. Because believe me, it just makes it easier on everybody, including yourself, and really the university can be pretty flexible or accommodating to your needs, whatever kind of study abroad you want. And honestly, just talking to the study abroad office, to your advisors, and then even your teachers in your major, and ask them what they think, because you never know, you might find out something interesting there. Alright, bye you guys.